finally, finally, we finally got this car. And I am so god dang proud that we finally got it. Ahoy, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another diecast review. And this is of Marcus Ericsson's 2021 number 8 Husky Chocolate Chip Ganassi Racing Honda, produced obviously by Greenlight in the 1/18 scale. Yeah, you can see my hand gestures in the box. Finally, I have waited 2 years for this car, and I'm very glad that we finally got it. It's better late than never, but of course it was going to be late anyways. So, before we go into this review, let's take a look at the box, because I know there's some interest in the quote. Obviously, there's the number 8 with red and white, and here is the quote on the back talking about the top class people that he will be working with, and absolutely top class people, except for they're all on the number 9 car. So anyways, let's look at this diecast, and it's actually, cool that we got this, because this car actually won a race. It won in Detroit. Now, obviously, the other car, the other livery that he ran, won in Nashville. Sorry, my mind blanked out there for a second. The Bryant car won in Nashville, but the Huski Chocolate car won too. And hey, someone actually did something with the number 8 car, unlike, Max Chilton. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look here on the nose. So we have Husky Chocolate, and by the way, this thing's on the Red Course arrow if you did not notice. Husky Chocolate twice across the main plane. We have a silver tip to the nose, or well, gray tip to the nose with Dallara. A Honda logo that looks a little bit off center, and it looks a little bit big. I don't know, it does look kind of wonky. NTT Indycar Series, HBD, and the number 8 in its usual Chip Ganassi font. Not much in terms of sponsors on the nose, which I'm okay with, I guess. We have mountain decaling or something like that, but it's supposed to be mountains going up the front wing end plate, excuse me, and then also going around the side of the nose. Now, here's where my biggest complaint comes in. If you look in there, you can see where the red kind of bled through on that mountain, and then it just transitioned to a plain white. So that did not really come out the greatest. I mean, it's pretty easy to tell kind of what's a decal and what isn't. And actually, if you look over here, right in there, you can see the overlap of the decal as well between the two mountain pieces. So there is some room for improvement on these. They can see Lincoln Welders, which is kind of in an odd spot for decals in general. I would have been okay if they kind of moved the Lincoln Welders over and like the Sherwin-Williams logo in there as well, to not be overlapping with this piece right here. But that's my personal preference. We have Husky Chocolate twice on each mirror, once up top and then once to the side. Once again, the complaint with the aero screen with the decaling is still there. It's not as noticeable on the camera, but you can, it's there, trust me. We have Honda, NTT IndyCar Series, PPG, the number 8 on the roll hoop, and then Husky Chocolate Chip Ganassi Racing. Here on the side pod, we have Husky Chocolate, and we continue with that mountain theme right there. You can see the little vent louvers at the tail end of the side pod. The flick is bare. I don't know how to feel about that. It is pretty bare. HPD and NTT P1 Pull Award. If you didn't know, this car was powered by Honda, and the rest of the engine cover is pretty bare as well. It would have been cool to see like an NTT Data logo or a PNC Bank logo. It seems like those are like exclusive to the 9 and 10 cars, and the 8 and 48 are just kind of left out on their own. By the way, this one probably takes the cake for the nicest rear wing design that we've seen so far. I know I gave the Takuma Sato car props, but the mountains with the red 8 looks fan-freaking-tastic. Now, one thing I've actually noticed here, try to get in the right light, you can see there's a little indent right here. It looks like they may have attempted to put the louvers in, which I know that was one of the things that there was a lot of comments about, is the louvers missing. And where they would normally be, I'm trying to like unrestrict it in the light. You can kind of see it there. It looks like there's an indent in the wing where it would normally go. Well, I know. I guess it's just all the way casted in, but the louver. Well, no, actually, the louvers would go right here, and it looks like there's an indent where it could go. I'm trying to get the light to hit it just right, but there's an indent in there on the rear wing, which is weird. I've never noticed that before until this car. So yeah, that's an interesting thing. On the top of the rear wing, we have Husky chocolate twice, once on the top element and then once on the main plane itself. Going around to the ass end of the car, Husky chocolate, because of course Husky chocolate. It seems like it's the only sponsor he has. This side of the car is pretty much the same as the other. Look underneath, and the DIN number is number 533. Obviously, it just has regular Firestone Firehawks, no reds or anything like that. And then in the cockpit, one thing I don't name enough is the old like 2003 style steering wheel that's still in there. I don't give them enough shit for that, but I guess I should. Yeah, and there was one other thing I could complain about on this, and it's that gap that I complained about in the earlier Aeroscreen diecast. That little gap there between the side pod and the nose assembly where the Aeroscreen is attached to and all that. You can see that there. Actually, you can see along here by the mirror. That gap has kind of re-emerged, which is unfortunate. But it's not as bad, and I've not been seeing it as frequently as before. So just a little note on that. That's why if you get the chance to check your diecasts before you get them. Also, as per status quo, there is a little bit of a color difference between the main chassis and the engine cover. It seems like the engine cover has more of a flat red to it, and that's pretty. I don't know if it's visible in this light, but it's fairly noticeable to me. But again, that's just me being nitpicky. Oh, here's another thing. The rims are not proper chrome like they used to be. I don't know if that's like supposed to be that way for this car, and this is like a one-off with that, but they're silver. They're not chrome like they normally are. So is Greenlight cheaping out on us? I would be disappointed if they were, but I mean, I don't know. I have to look at the pre-production photos of this car and then also compare it up with the actual car. So yeah, that's an interesting little thing. Also, on the front end, a little note here. The camera pod is skewed to one side. Well, it looks like it's loose enough to where I could like pop it back straight, but you can see it there. The camera pod is actually skewed to one side. So, I've seen that issue. Excuse me. I've seen that issue a little bit in the more recent Greenlight releases, which is disappointing, but I mean, what can you do about it besides break it off and kind of reattach it with super glue? I mean, I've done that before. But yeah, so this car, very excited to get it. Obviously, this scheme did win, like I mentioned, in Detroit over Mr. Willie Chokes Away Power himself, Cool Willie P. But no, it's really good to have this car in the collection. I mean, we haven't gotten a number 8 car since 2017 with Max Chilton in the Gallagher insurance car. Or the Gallagher car. Is Gallagher insurance? I think it is. But anyways, I digress. Very nice to get this car. It's great to add it to the Andretti. I was about to call it the Andretti Armada. But to the Ganassi gang. And I'm very pleased that I can complete the set. For now, I'm still waiting on that fucking Scott Dixon car, which we are getting next year. There's already been pre-production photos released. But anyways, very nice car. I do recommend picking it up. It's going to be easy to get it right now because it is a new release. So anyways, that's it for this review, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I want to get to 1,000 so I can at least make a dime. My goal is by the end of this year to make a dime off of my videos. That way I can justify spending the like $1,200 that I've spent on these cars. You know, I've set a pretty low standard, but let's get to 1,000 subscribers, dang it. Anyways, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, peace out.